And a very good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Issues and Attitudes. My name is Jeff Owens. Happy New Year from WEIU. My first guest of the year, Mr. Dan Cruz.
Happy New Year, Jeff.
Thank you, buddy. Of course, you don't know, Dan is from EIU's Doudna Fine Arts Center right here on the campus. So we thought we'd start the new year off talking a lot about Doudna, reminiscing a little bit maybe about the fall season, what's going ahead, and even maybe teasing late fall 2020. Whatever we want to do, we can do.
We have a lot to talk about. Do we have more than a half hour?
No, we're going to go a half hour.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll talk extremely fast.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, when you think about 2020, it's still hard to say that, isn't it?
It is. In fact, I had a hard time writing it down, but I'm getting used to it. You know what? I am one of those people who I like even numbers. So to me, 2020 is a groovy year, and it's going to be great.
So when you think of 2020 and we start talking about what's going to be going on at Doudna, when does it open up? When do we start? What's the beginning of the year as we head into this 2020?
Okay, the quick version is lots. Okay.
That's not going to fill 28 minutes.
Okay,
lots.
well, we won't stop our conversation. A couple things going on. First of all, let's talk about the fall, this last fall.
Reminisce a little.
We're going to reminisce a little bit, and we're going to say like the past 2 or 3 shows, 4 shows we had of the year in November through the end of December were sellouts. Okay, so that was exciting for us. And so we're on this momentum. Then we had the break over the holidays, and we're back, and we kick things off on January 17th with the New York Gilbert and Sullivan Players. They're bringing a show called I've Got a Little Twist, and it is a review of Gilbert and Sullivan songs, okay? And these are all New York Broadway singers that are coming to town.
Oh, wow.
And they're bringing their show for one night only in the Dvorak Concert Hall, and it should just be an awesome experience. So we are looking forward. In fact, if you are friends with the Doudna, if you have a profile that is, you get a profile through our Doudna Ticks, and if you give us your email, you're going to get kind of an e-newsletter from us here in about probably at the end of this week, and it's going to line out the whole season, okay? And it's going to start off with the Gilbert and Sullivan Players, but I want people to know that sometimes people are a little skittish about giving their emails away and getting a profile with Doudna Ticks, but we take that information, and it helps us help you select what you want to see at the Doudna, and also it offers sometimes some free perks and some discounted tickets, and we don't sell that information out. And that's a little bit of a commercial, because we have some people who have this misnomer that they take this information and they just give it away, or they sell it to, and we have people who are calling you with unsolicited, not welcome emails. But
so you only use it in-house?
Absolutely. It helps us understand our customer base a little bit more, and how we want to know what our customers, what our patrons want to see. And that's who we bring to the Doudna. I mean, we have a committee that looks and reviews. In fact, right now, Dennis Malik and I, he's our production guy. Everyone knows Dennis, and what we'll do is we're sitting down and looking at the season for 2020-21 right now, and what's funny is just that we do seriously take consideration of what people want us to bring, and I mean, sometimes if you say, hey, we'd like the Rolling Stones to be in the Dvorak Concert Hall, I would say,
would too.
I say me too, but it's not happening. But we do, a lot of people come to us and say, hey, I saw this great group, and what's the chances of bringing them to Charleston? And we'll say, pretty good, if it's something that within our budget, and we love working with our patrons that way.
That's cool. So when you get that evite, if you don't be afraid to give your email.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, most people understand that they might have a work email than a personal email. Use your personal email, and like a Yahoo email, you're going to get spammed all the time anyway. So
and we're not going to load your inbox with kind of unnecessary stuff.
And then I've Got a Little Twist is January 17th.
That's correct.
The date, 7:30 p.m.
Yep.
And that's in Dvorak.
That's correct. And then beginning of February 7th, we're going to be welcoming the Marquise Hill Black Tet. They're going to be the special guest artist for the 61st annual EIU Jazz Festival.
61 years.
Unbelievable. And it's probably one of the premier jazz festival, high school jazz festivals. I shouldn't just say high school, because we have a number of junior high that bring bands. And I think that Sam Fagley, our director of jazz studies, would say that they have a fantastic selection of musicians, young musicians who are coming from what I would say probably 120-mile radius of Charleston, and they're coming to town, and they're going to be honing their skills, but at the same time, they're going to have the opportunity to interact with professional musicians. And the Marquise Hill Black Tet are coming out of Chicago, and they are phenomenal. He's an excellent trumpet player, and in fact, that was a group. Marquise Hill is someone who was brought to me by one of our students.
Oh, really?
Last year, yeah. One of our grad students told me about him, and we did a little bit of investigating, and we compared calendars, and it worked out. So he's going to come down, first of all, as a solo artist, and then all of us, and he's going to perform with our jazz ensemble.
Yeah.
But the more and more we spoke with him, it was like, I'm going to bring my group down. So he's bringing his group, Black Tet, and they're going to be performing with the ensemble on Friday night, which is the February 7th.
Yeah.
February 7th. So that's going to be fun. And then they'll be working with our students and all of our visiting students on that Saturday, the 8th.
Yeah, now it starts at 8 in the morning, right?
It's an all-day event. I think it wraps up probably between 5 and 6 o'clock on Saturday evening. But I don't want to get that confused with the concert, which is 7:30 in the theater on Friday night.
So if you just remember jazz, Friday the 7th and Saturday the 8th, you'll be happy.
Oh yeah,
Lots of jazz.
I'm just going to skip around here some of the upcoming things, okay? Then we kind of switch gears from jazz to classical music, and on February 13th, about a week later, we're going to be welcoming Christina Ryko Cooper and her trio. They do a show called Around the World with Love, and they're going to...
Tell her, what's her story there? Their story.
Internationally renowned artist. She's one of these... she's kind of like an ongoing professorship at Tel Aviv University in Israel.
Yeah.
But she's an international artist who records. I believe that her home is based in Canada, and she'll be coming to perform in our recital hall. So that's a real intimate environment, and that is sponsored by our EIU Classical Music Series. So we're excited to have that, because we hate to say it, but we do a lot of everything. If you were here, if you went to any of the shows in the fall, you saw the Vienna Choir Boys. You saw the Secret Garden, the production of that play, and then we had a couple of one-person shows. We had the Churchill, a one-man play, which was fabulous. Being a history buff, I really enjoyed it, and the gentleman who did that, he's out from Iowa. He's a British born, but his name is Andrew Edlin, and I think the audience was captivated by him. That was one of the sold-out shows. I could have sold that show out twice.
Oh, really? Wow.
Sure have. And we're going to be doing also another solo show this coming spring, and this is a real fascinating show. I'm going to test your age, okay? Are you ready, Jeff? Do you know who Hedy Lamarr is?
Hedy Lamarr. Is she an old-time actress?
Yes.
There you go.
Okay, I'm going to give you 10 points for that. Okay.
I'm not as dumb as you thought I was.
Well, and not as dumb as you look. Sorry about that. That was a cheap shot.
I appreciate a good one, Dan.
Yeah.
I'll get you back before the show's over.
But we have an actress coming from New York City whose name is Heather Massey. And we met Heather 2 years ago. Dennis and I had a show, and we just happened to sit at this dinner table, and we were chatting, and she was telling her, "Oh, what do you do?" And we said, "We're a couple of presenters from Eastern Illinois University's Doudna Fine Arts Center." And she said, "Oh, I'm an actress, and I have a show called Hedy, The Life and Times of Hedy Lamarr."
Oh, wow.
And Hedy Lamarr was considered...
She's famous for something, and it's at the tip of my tongue, right?
The movie that I remember, I'm a little older than you.
I wasn't going to say that out loud.
Yeah, this is my 60th year, okay? And Hedy Lamarr, her number one movie was Samson and Delilah, from the early 1950s with an actor by the name of Victor Mature. And as a kid, it was one of my favorite movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I grew up under the influence of WGN television out of Chicago, and so they played it about every 4 or 5 months, okay? Well, anyway, Hedy Lamarr, interesting. She was, like I said, considered the most beautiful woman in the world, but she was also a downright genius, okay? In addition to being an actress, she was an inventor. And I'm going to ask you a strange question, but do you have a cell phone?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have it on me, but
okay. A lot of people have cell phones.
Yeah.
And the technology that you will find in today's cell phones is technology that came from her earliest inventions from the
really?
1940s. In fact,
Wow.
she's credited as being one of the heroes of World War II because she designed technology that went into torpedoes that helped us win the big one, World War II. And she was just... I mean, her technology evolved into cell phones, Wi-Fi, GPS, and Bluetooth. And so the thing is that people don't know this about Hedy Lamarr.
I knew she was an actress, and I knew there was something famous about her, but I had no idea. That's amazing.
Well, Heather Massey, the actress, she has been fascinated by Hedy Lamarr, and in fact, the actress Heather was also a student. She was a chemistry and a science student, but she's she's a very, very smart young lady.
Yeah.
And she's carrying this story forward about Hedy Lamarr. And what we want to do, we're going to bring Heather Massey in. So she's going to do two performances in March 11th and 12th. But in addition, we're going to have her in the community, and we're working on this right now, but we want to take her, and she wants to go to schools so she can speak with young people, not just the young boys, but also the young girls, about the importance of, science, technology, engineering, math, and let them know that these are the kind of things that they can do, once they get into school, and they can apply those skills. And it's just to encourage young people to kind of
That is really neat. Yeah.
take their education seriously. So we're going to be working with our with the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. We're going to be working with our science departments to figure out a way, and we haven't picked out, hint, hint, nudge, nudge for all of you out there in Radio Land, but we have not decided on the schools we're going to go visit. But if you are interested in bringing Heather Massey's program, Hedy, to your school, let us know, because, we're not afraid of taking, not only here in Charleston and Mattoon, but also Effingham, Marshall.
Casey, Oakland,
yeah,
wherever,
absolutely.
yeah.
And because we think that's important for our young people to know about these special people in history, and comparing or pairing the whole thing about actors and actresses versus the sciences. Sometimes they're...
Well, one would, because you have the dumb blonde story.
Yeah, and
but this was the opposite. So
this was she's an amazing individual, and I think she was not born here. She was born in Austria, and so she became a U.S. citizen. And I guess I want to back up, because Heather Massey, the actress who wrote this story, it's all written and acted out by Heather. She, I can't remember the exact year when Hedy Lamarr died, but Heather has been in close contact with people who knew her children, her best friends, and they supplied tons of information, for the creation of this production. So it's going to be real fun.
Yeah, and give us the dates on that one again?
For the Hedy, the life and times of Hedy, Hedy, the life and inventions of Hedy Lamarr is going to be March 11th and 12th. Okay. So right before spring break here.
That's interesting.
Changing the gears, we're going back to classical. We have a duo coming out of in March 26th called Duo 1717, and that's a singer, a baritone, and a pianist. They're going to be here. It's Jean-Bernard Serin and the pianist Vina Kulkarni-Rankin, and that's hard to say, both those names real quick, but they're going to be performing in the recital hall, and also they're part of the EIU Classical Music Artist Series here at Eastern.
Okay.
And at the end of the year, this is one of the final performances of the year, is something that our students, our young people here in the community, can get involved with. And we are bringing back, by popular demand, by high request, the Missoula Children's Theater. The Missoula Children's Theater is a group out of Missoula, Montana, and they arrive on a Saturday. I'm sorry, I take that back. They arrive on a Sunday, and the following Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they are inviting from age 9 to 19, anyone who wants to be in this production.
Oh, really?
And these two young actors from the Missoula Children's Theater they'll rehearse the entire play, and at the end of the week they'll present two performances of the play, and it's a way that kids that might not have access to performance is a way for them to get involved in theater. So we did this a couple of years ago, and the production that they did was kind of a Johnny Appleseed type production. This year it's The Emperor's New Clothes.
Oh, the classic.
Absolutely a classic. And so that's going to be exciting. And we had a lot of people who, the last time the group was here, they said, when are they coming back? So that was 2 years ago. And so we skipped the year, so we're bringing them back this year.
And what date's that again?
That is going to be April 25th. And there'll be 2 performances that day, one at 1 o'clock and one at 5. And this is a production that lasts about an hour, so it's not like a large time commitment. But the commitment will come during the week when
we have to practice all week.
But it's I think you're kind of amazed that when all these students who, even young people coming in very shy and thinking, okay, I want to be in the background, and by the end of the week they are kind of center stage and they're all performing. So
That's awesome.
It's great.
That is a really cool thing. Yeah. So it's kind of a different kind of spring feel to it seems like to me.
Yeah, it is. And that's not even to mention all the other things at the Doudna.
We haven't even touched on a lot of stuff.
Oh, I mean, we have on the standard year, we have about 140 performances. That includes everything from the music ensembles, also solo performances, and then those kind of things that spring up at the last moment. But the Doudna is an exciting, very busy place. And again, I say this over and over again, for those of us here in Charleston and Coles County, we're very fortunate to have the facilities that we have here. And in fact, a lot of the artists that come here, the professional touring artists, they're kind of blown away with what they see in Charleston.
If you're just tuning in, we're talking to Dan Cruz from Eastern Illinois University's Doudna Fine Arts Center, talking about all the activities and events and concerts and plays that will be taking place this spring of 2020, which I have not messed up yet and said 2019.
Oh, that's good.
2020. So what I'm just kind of going back, looking at some of my notes of stuff that we didn't talk about. At the end of the semester, a tribute honoring Herbert and Jane Lasky. Talk about that if you can.
Yeah, absolutely. The Laskys have been fantastic patrons of the arts here at Eastern Illinois University. You could point to about every department, or every area in the music department, and sense and see their touch. They have been very, very supportive of our choral ensembles, and that's under the Dr. Richard Rossi.
Yep.
And so Richard wanted to say thank you, and a way he wanted to do this is to having this special, it's a collegium tribute, and it honors Herb and Jane, and that's going to be on May 1st. It's a free show, and we're really inviting the entire community to come out and say, first of all, we want to show you what they have done. Okay. And they've provided lots of musical instruments to our music department, and they're very humble people, and they would probably, if they knew this was going on last year, they would have said, no, don't do this. But Herb and Jane, it's just a way for us to say thank you to them. And you'd be just absolutely amazed if you went around the department, and everything that we have music-wise is not provided by the state. Sometimes
people don't understand that.
And some people assume that there's deep pockets in a university, and that's not so. And we absolutely need and depend on the support of generous people like Herb and Jane. So so this is the way that we can kind of shake their hand, tip our hat, and say thank you, thank you, thank you.
That is cool. Yeah. That is May 1st. If you're looking for that one,
that's really the final event of the year. Really, because by that time we're close to getting graduation. But we have our EIU bands, they have a lot of great concerts coming up in the spring, and they're also going to be inviting some local high schools to perform with them. Again, our Eastern Symphony Orchestra under David Commande, they're going to be 2 performances this spring, February 23rd, Winter Thaw, and then April 26th, Spring Bloom. So, really, our Eastern Symphony Orchestra are really top notch. Again, we have an entire real busy, in addition to the annual jazz festival in February, we have lots of performances featuring our jazz combos, our jazz ensemble, and our jazz lab band. And
you got operas going on.
Opera. I mean, like I said, it's a busy place. If you get bored at the Doudna, there's something wrong with you, because and I think the other thing I always want to say is just that you and I both hear this a lot. There's nothing to do in Charleston. You know, well, if there's nothing to do in Charleston, then
you're not looking hard enough.
Yeah, you're not looking hard enough. But there's always something going on at the Doudna.
Now, I want to make sure I get this one right. On Sunday, April 19th, it's the Camerata Sinfonietta. Did I get it right?
Sinfonetta.
Sinfonetta? Okay.
Yeah. That is a new group here. Okay.
Yep.
They premiered during the it was the back before the holidays last month, and they did a program called The Spirit of Christmas. Well, what they're going to be doing is they're part of, they work very closely with the choral ensembles, but they're going to be presenting the Songs of Love and the Ovations concert. And this is really, we think, according to our records, it's the first professional music ensemble. And these are, there could be a few, I don't think there's no students. I'm pretty sure there's no students involved, but there are some faculty members, but could be doctors, lawyers, factory workers who have the skills of playing a professional an instrument.
Yeah.
And this is based upon a Renaissance, a medieval type music group, and these are people. This is not their day job, but they're exquisite musicians, and so that is, this goes back all the way to Florence, Italy, back in probably the 16th century. And so we started this group, and so, like I said, it's Charleston's first professional orchestra. And it's under the direction of Dr. Richard Robert Rossi, and they're going to be performing in the Ovations concert, which is just going to be, is that March?
That's Sunday, April 19th.
April 19th, yeah. So come out and see them, because they were very, very impressive for the December concert. So
that's cool.
It's exciting.
Now, since we're talking about spring, I assume everything is set for celebration, or can we talk about that at all yet? Or?
I would love to talk to you about that, because this might be news. I don't know if this is a flash moment.
We love breaking news, Dan.
This is breaking news. Celebration is no more.
No more.
What we're doing is we're that doesn't mean there's not going to be a festival. What that means is that we are looking at the festival, retooling it.
Rebranding, is that cool?
Rebranding is the hot term. We're a new college, okay? Celebration began in 1977 with the College of Fine Arts. We've had a few changes since then. The university is a different place. It's a new place. We have, I think the big thing is just that Celebration needed an extreme makeover, and we're doing it. And so with that new makeover is going to come a new name. And this is probably something in the realms of the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences Spring Festival. We have a lot of, we've been losing some of our artists, outdoor artists that we have, because it is an outdoor show.
Yeah.
What we want to do is to move it indoors, so that whether it's a sunny day or whether it's a
Hey, I understand, because we did the same thing for Kids Day, and it's the greatest thing we ever did.
And there's part of me, I get a little misty-eyed when I think about it, but there's time I'm looking at this as an opportunity for growth, and
it's a way to show off the facilities.
Yeah, it is a way to show off. Yeah,
being on nothing wrong being outside in a grassy patch, but again, if it rains, people aren't going to come. But if you're inside one of the many venues on the campus, then you can show off the campus as well.
So the information, like I said, this is maybe this will start spurring some people to start talking about it, because the information should hit within a couple of weeks. But it's going to be the same week in the same time frame at the end of the semester, and we're just looking at it as a very exciting time, and I'm looking at it as a time for growth. I think sometimes people were afraid of change. And being the old guy that I am, sometimes it's like, I hate to do the same old, but I think it's time. Let's bring in some younger blood, and what do the students want? What does the community want? And if it's the same old, why should we go?
That makes sense. Yep.
So.
There you go. I remember one of my professors at Eastern taught me, many years ago. The quote that he used was, people are reluctant to change, and then it went on as like, but once they accept it, they realize that there are many other doors open out there. And so.
Well, we also want to. I always say this is just that I heard someone like 2 years ago say they referred to Celebration as Dan Cruz's festival, because I've been really involved with this, and that.
That's because you're almost 60 now, Dan.
Yeah. But the thing is just that it's our festival. It's Eastern Illinois University. It's Charleston. It's Coles Counties. It's Mattoon's festival, and I would really like to see new blood get involved. And it's a way to showcase our communities, because this is really, East Central Illinois is a wonderful place to live. You don't have to drive 3 hours north, west, south, east to find quality entertainment, quality festivals. You can do that right here. And we have a very talented group of artists, and that's with a capital A, so no matter what art it is, music, theater, visual arts, we have it right here. So we're looking at the new event to be a showcase, and also a way for kind of an end-of-the-year party.
There you go. So rebranded EIU Celebration, breaking news right now, will happen still this semester on the campus of EIU.
We're
going to have you back now to go over the details.
More information forthcoming.
That's why he did this. You're smart.
I wanted to get back on the radio. I really enjoy talking to you.
There you go. That's fun. A couple minutes left here. Is there a place in Doudna that you just like to go to, maybe just once a week, just to take a look outside, or just to veg, to get away from it all? Is there a nook and cranny?
Very easy. That's an easy question. It would be the concourse. Several years ago we put Dennis's idea, so I have to tip my hat to Dennis
we have
Malik.
to give him credit again.
But we put tables and chairs, bistro tables, down in the concourse, between the black box and the box office, and you know what I'm talking about. And it's nice just to go there and sit, have your lunch. We have a lot of students who utilize the space to study. We do have music that's playing in the concourse, and that is the music that's played. 90% of the time, it is music of the ensembles that have been recorded, during various events. Do you know that we have a recording studio in the basement?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I remember I want those speakers.
Yeah. And so a young guy by the name of Connor Baltz is our audio engineer. And so he records those, and we replay them back. And so
that place is awesome, actually, that board down there. So we were out of time, my friend. This is the fastest 28 minutes when you come over.
No kidding.
But because of the breaking news you told us, we're definitely going to have you back maybe late March, early April. And
you call me and I'll be here.
Well, all right. That is Dan Cruz, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you very much. Happy New Year to everyone out there. This is Issues and Attitudes on WEIU. Everyone, please have a great day.